Hey everybody, this is Coach Dawn. I'm excited to be here tonight, and I just want you guys to know that I am having weird technical difficulties. I hope that I am not echoing, and I'm trying to play around with it now to make sure it sounds okay. It's just fun. I'm just having a lot of fun with this. So I do hope you guys can hear me and it doesn't sound too crazy. Um, I am going to put the information for you guys to call in if you have any questions. You can join live on Google Meetings, and the telephone number, which changes every single week. Every single week it changes. So, the telephone number for this week is 406. Give me one second. Okay, 406 616 3116. Again, 406 616 3116. And the PIN code is 191 405 811 Again, 191 405 811 There's also the link to the meeting. And again, if you have a question, you can post it there. Or if you're streaming live from Spreaker, from my link, podcast link, you can also ask your questions in the chat window. So I think that's it for the most part. Um, and so I look forward, if you have any questions, if you do dial in, ask them, and I will be happy to answer them here on the show for you. So again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And if you are downloading this to listen later, that's great too. So thank you so much. If you do have a question, please feel free to follow me on my social media accounts, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, or Instagram, or Twitter, because I'm on all of those. You can also ask your questions there. Just say, "Hey, Dawn," "Hey, Coach Dawn. I listened to episode blah 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 on whatever date, and I have a question regarding that topic." And I will definitely reply to you. So, definitely follow. Um, you can follow me. And you know what, guys? This is one of the things I'm doing. Like, as you know, those of you who follow me know that I'm rebranding. And one of the things that's part of my rebranding effort is I'm changing all of my handles because I have too many different handles. And so I think that, probably next month, you'll probably see that all of my handles are the same. And so I will make sure you guys, if you are following me or if you are signed up for my newsletter, which I hope you do sign up for my newsletter, you'll get the new handle information. So make sure you guys follow me. And I'm going to put all that stuff in the chat so you'll have it. And again, if you go to my website, and I'm going to type that in now. La 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 la. La 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 la. I know, and I'm doing stuff I like to sing. I'm going to type that in now so that you can go to my site and you can sign up for my newsletter. And like I said, I'm going to also make sure that you guys have my handles. So, tonight's topic, I'm really excited about tonight's topic. We're going to be discussing the coaching contract or your coaching agreement. And this is an area which I think is interesting. Like, I really think it's an interesting area because when I speak to a lot of coaches, especially new coaches, like, a lot of them don't have a coaching agreement. And I'm like, really? Really, really? That's another reason why I highly suggest, going through a coaching program. I know a lot of people say, well, because coaching isn't a regulated industry like counseling or therapy is, we don't really have to have a coaching agreement. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have an agreement, it's going to cause you a lot of hell later. And one of the things they do teach you in coach training, and I definitely do it with my coach training cohorts, all the coaches that I train, we talk about building a really solid coaching agreement. And, I review your coaching agreements or the coach mentor of your course will review your coaching agreement to make sure it's solid and is working for you and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about tonight is that coaching agreement. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat or ask them on the Google meeting live, or if you listen to the episode later, then come to my social media page and ask me a question. So we're definitely going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that I have seen coaches make, and even you know coaches who have quite a bit of experience and who have been doing this for years. And I wanted to make sure that I addressed this topic because, again, I talk about it in my coach training program. And because I coach other coaches, I've had this discussion with them. So, first, I'm going to kind of share an experience. So, I was coaching another coach, and they've been coaching for maybe about 8 years, I guess. Well, that's what came out in the discussion. They said about 8 years. And so when we were talking, like I was just noticing one of the pain points that he brought up was that um his clients don't respect the time. A lot of them, they don't uh call to reschedule or call to cancel. He said that he had clients that didn't pay. Like he was just giving me certain things that he was experiencing with his coaching business and his practice. And so the question I had asked him, I said, well, what does it say in your contract? And he was like, what do you mean? I said, well, what do you explain? What's your terms of service? What's your policy on, no shows or rescheduling and all that good stuff? And he said, well, I don't have one. I'm like, oh, okay. Right. So once he shared that with me, I was like, so what, how do you, and I asked him, basically, how do you prevent this then? How do your clients know what your engagement is going to be like? And he was like, I never thought about it. So with that particular client, we then began to work on, well, what would it mean if you put in place a coaching agreement? So one of the biggest mistakes that some coaches have made was not having a contract at all. And it's like, okay, some coaches rely on the verbal discussion. Some coaches rely on emails to kind of solidify what the rules of engagement might be. And while an email can serve as a type of contract to validate exactly what your rules of engagement might be, what your terms of service might be, the full protection comes in having an agreement that your client signs and reads and has full awareness of what it means to coach with you and what it means um to work with you. You know what I mean? So again, the biggest mistake is really not having one or relying on an informal type of arrangement. And you can all already guess what a huge issue is going to wind up coming up. Just like with my client, you don't have anything that tells your client what they need to do and what they can expect from coaching with you. Um, and so you will find that either, because memory is not always accurate, and our judgments and emotions can cloud what we remember. So you might say, "Hey, we discussed it," and your client might go, "I don't recall." Or your client might say, "Hey, we discussed it," and you might say, "Oh, I don't recall, but this is what I normally do." And this information is not just good for coaches, it's also good for other business professionals. Just to sidebar just a little bit and digress a little bit with the conversation. um in my rebranding efforts, I have worked with a couple of people who didn't have a contract, and I'm like, well, okay. So they sent me an email and they were like, this is what we're going to do, and I'm like, this is great, but where's the contract? Like, I just think, no, not even think. I know that no matter what your business or your product or your service, you should have a contract in place, even with bare minimal information about what to expect. Your refund policy, your privacy and confidentiality policy. Something should be in place. And, so that really it boggles my mind when I don't get a contract from people that I'm working with, and I'm like, oh, okay, okay, you don't want a contract, okay. And sometimes in those particular instances, I'm just telling you what I've done. I've drafted up something, like I've sent a little document, and I'm willing to sign it. I'll say, based upon our conversation, this is what I understand, and if you agree with this, please sign it. Done. Because I just think that it saves your ass. It just does. And especially if you're working long term with someone, like a lot of my coaching sessions are like 6 to 8 sessions. So I work with people on a long term basis. And, if you're meeting twice a month over 4 to 6 months, I guess, or over 4 to 5 months, yeah, in 3 or 4 months, and you're starting to have conversations about stuff, you're not going to remember what you said, or it's going to be very difficult to remember what you said. So yeah, having something in place is definitely going to benefit you to the greatest nth degree. So, in the next part of this segment, I'm going to talk about things that you can have in your agreement. And please note, this is definitely just thoughts. I'm not telling you what to do or definitely what you should have. Your contract is going to be based on your clients, your industry, how you coach, how you work, and your um, field and your needs for your coaching practice, your coaching business. So by all means, this is not the end all, the be all. I'm just going to give you guys some thoughts, and please, modify what I'm saying. Don't do what I'm saying if you don't want to, or add to it, take away from it. Like, when you create your agreement for your business, you do what you need to do for you. So I don't want you to feel like, Coach Dawn said I gotta have this, this, and this. No, Coach Dawn is saying you gotta have something. You gotta have something in place. Um, and I'm gonna give you some of the things that I have in my contract. Now you feel free to put what you want in your contract. Okay? Um, and I want you just to feel comfortable about what you do for your business. So I don't want you guys to think in any way or shape or form that I'm telling you what to do, because that would be unethical. I just want you to protect yourself. So that's the biggest thing is protect yourself. For those of you who are part of my coaching group for coaches, we do two group coaching groups, two coaching, okay, I'm so tongue tied, two group coaching sessions each month. There, I got it out. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I need some water. Of course, I don't have a glass of water right here. Bad, bad podcaster. I need water. Don't have it right now. Bad podcaster. Anyway, um, now what was I saying? Yes, yes. For those of you who are participating in my group coaching sessions for coaches, or who are Read Ready site member coaches, then you guys know that you can access my template for your coaching agreement. You'll have templates that you can use if you are a Read Ready coach or Read Ready coaching student. You know that there are templates that you can use and you have access to them. So please make sure, uh, you know, tap into those freebies for those who are site members and for those who are students, because you'll have access to all that stuff. But anyway, so before we get into the next part of the segment, I wanted to first say one couple of quick announcements. One on May 7th, in celebration of the International Coaching Week. Yay! International Coaching Week. I'm so excited. Which is May 4th through May 10th. Many chapters, many International Coaching Federation chapters around the world. So this is a global thing. This is not just a Jersey thing or a PA thing or a New York thing. It's not just an American thing. We're talking about Canada, South America, Europe. We're talking about all over, y'all. All over. Many chapters of the International Coaching Federation will be celebrating International Coaching Week. And we have lots of events going on. So I hope you guys will tune in. I'm a board member on the Philadelphia chapter of International Coaching Federation. And I'm also a chair of our outreach committee. And so our committee is spearheading our events for our chapter this year. And so this year we're going to be doing a discussion panel on May 7th. So we are inviting different companies, different organizations, and because we're doing it virtually, uh, we've opened it to many different states. Now, we do understand that many different coach chapters will be doing stuff. So the beauty is that many organizations will have the benefit of choosing what events that they would like to attend. So we're going to have ours for the Philadelphia region. We're definitely covering Philadelphia, Delaware Valley region, but please know there is a New Jersey chapter, there's a New York chapter, there's a Delaware chapter. But with that said, the events are open. The events are open to organizations across, the nation, across the globe. Whoever wants to sign in for the event can. So on May 7th at 11 a.m., we're doing a discussion panel. We're going to have four coaches uh, for the discussion, and we're going to be talking about implementing a coaching culture within your organization. And after the discussion, about 45 minutes after the discussion, a quick Q&A, a general Q&A, we're going to break out into different rooms, different virtual rooms, and we're going to be talking about a coaching culture for specific industries and specific fields. So, we are going to be inviting companies from pharma, companies from IT, companies from banking, companies from education. We're going to be inviting government agencies. We're going to be inviting nonprofits. So, this is going to be a great opportunity for organizations to come in and ask their questions about a coaching culture. So, definitely, if you are interested, if you are an external coach or an internal coach, you might want to like jump in and join this conversation. If you are a credentialed ICF coach, we are still looking for coaches who will be manning our breakout rooms. So we're going to have anywhere from eight, maybe six to eight breakout rooms, depending on the industries and the fields and how many um, businesses and organizations who will participate. The invite should be going out by April 17th, I think. Yes, by April 17th, the invite should go out. So if you're interested, please send me an email, coaching@rereadycoaching.com, and I'll make sure that you get the invite, or follow me on, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm definitely going to be posting information. Also, if you're on LinkedIn, you can join the International Coaching Federation Philly chapter's LinkedIn group. So please feel free to find us. Come find me, come find us so you can participate in that. So I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that. I'm also very excited because this year I am on the slate for being the vice president of the Philly chapter. So I'm really excited about that too. So if you are a Philly chapter member, you'll be getting the ballots. So you go out there and cast your vote for the new board that we're developing for the next year. Very excited about that. Also, I finished my book, you guys. I finished my book, Coaching for Success. Yes, you too can build a successful coaching practice. I am excited. So look for that on Amazon. Again, if you follow me, you will be able to know how to get the book. It should be going on sale in about 2 weeks. I will be publishing it soon. So in 2 weeks, it'll be out. It'll be on Amazon. I'm so excited. Very, very happy. It was a labor of love, you guys. A labor of love. And I really believe you guys are going to get a big benefit from this book. I'm going to be selling it for $19.99. Very economical. It is based on my coach training program. And I'll tell you later, in my email about it and on social media, what the difference between the book and the training program is. And there's a huge difference, but the book is based upon my training program. And of course, if you buy the book, you get a huge discount on the training program if you'd like to become a certified Re-Ready coach. All right. And finally, before you guys go, what the hell? I wanted to know about agreements and contracts. Finally, I do have two sponsors. I'm very excited to announce Merchmate. You can find them on Teespring. That's teespring.com/stores, STORES, /merch dash mate, and they will create your logo or any kind of graphic design on different merchandise that you can sell on your own website. And this is a great way for coaches to get some, especially because we do service. I have a service. I don't necessarily have products other than my book, or books, plural. Um, and with that being said, it's nice to have some type of mug or keychain or pin or pillow or frame or something that your clients can hold and have and remind them of you. So, Merchmate will help you create, great graphics or your logo on some merch that you can offer to your clients. How cool is that? Also, in light of the COVID-19 virus, they're actually creating masks, really beautiful, three-ply masks, very thick, to filter. Uh, great, great product. I actually have one myself, and they are absolutely, positively great quality. Love it. So they have that information as well. On their link again, that's teespring.com/stores/merchmate. You definitely want to check them out. And my other sponsor for tonight is Tech Assist. That's www.tech-assist, and their telephone number is 609-680-7922. And that sponsor, oh my gosh, love them. They are IT professionals for small businesses, at-home businesses. They have 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month contracts, I believe. And they will help you with managing all of your technology, whether it's purchasing new technology, whether it's becoming wireless. They will help you figure IT. Figure it out because they make it, that's IT, work. All right. I had a lot of announcements tonight, but that's okay. So let's get into this contract. So back to the segment. So just so you guys will know what I have in my contract and what I talk about with my students. One, I think it's very important to have your confidentiality and privacy policy. It does not have to be long and drawn out, but you can have a blurb on, your highest intent of of protecting your client's confidentiality, and in what instance would you have to break that confidentiality and privacy clause. For instance, I know in mine, I let my clients know that, if they threaten to hurt themselves or someone else, I'm obligated by law to break confidentiality and report the threat. Not anything else that was discussed, just report the concern of threat, of harming themselves or harming others. Outside of that part, everything that my clients tell me is always kept confidential. I do not share it. And I kind of make sure that my clients know that information. I also include in my contract, like, what my client can expect and what I expect from them. So, I go through like my top 5 of what you can expect from me. Like, you're going to get 100% of my attention. You're going to get honesty. You're going to get transparency. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to be here to advocate with you and show you how to advocate for yourself. Like, I just go down some of the things that they can expect. And if they would like to know more, the full list, they can go to the my website, and I have a page that kind of goes through everything that my client can expect from me and what I expect from them. I put in there, I expect, for you to be willing to do the work. I expect for you to be on time. I expect for you to be committed. I expect for you to bring your authentic self and to be honest if something is not working. So again, I kind of talk about the expectations. And again, I do 5 of mine, 5 what I expect from them, 5 what they can expect from me, and the rest they can view on my website. Sometime, and I've done in the past also, I attach the full um, expectation list also. So that's another thing that you can do if you don't have a website, which I'm sure you probably do have a website. I hope you have a website. But if you don't, you can always create a little PDF fact sheet, and you can have as many, expectations and requirements in that as well. In the agreement, I also talk about what the cost will be. So, for me and my clients, I don't have necessarily a set price. Well, I shouldn't say I don't have a set price. I do have one, like, if you are doing a la carte, here are, the prices a la carte. But when we talk about coaching packages, I kind of spell out in the agreement what coaching package my client chose, what we discussed, what the pricing is, what my refund policy is. And actually, I really don't have a refund policy. I do have a credit policy in place. Um, uh, what the consequences are for being late, what the consequences are for no show. I talk about their schedule. I include, we're going to be meeting on Wednesdays at 5 p.m., over the course of 6 months, blah, 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 blah. So, whatever the terms of services that I discussed with my client, I include that in the agreement. I'm going to give you guys a little hint about something. I use this fantastic app. I think when I bought it, it was like 200 or less than 200 bucks, around 200 bucks. Um, I love this app. It's called Data Prompter. It's a third-party application that goes with Microsoft Word. Love this app, and it allows you to create um, what do you call? How can I explain it? It allows you to create contracts. So you can create multiple contracts at once. So since I have quite a few clients, I have like clauses that's included with one kind of client versus another. I have templated information in the agreement that applies to every client. And then there are certain things that only apply to certain clients. Like, there's certain requirements for my organizational clients compared to my individual clients. And there's a different set of requirements for those who want my guided meditation services compared to those who want my coaching services. So I can create this whole um, assembly of text and information that I can pick and choose and say, okay, with this client, they're going to get uh, 3 check-ins. They're going to get a 20% discount. They're going to get one extra coaching session. They're going to get this, that, like, or they're going to get this clause versus this clause. And I can set all this up in Data Prompter and click a button. And all it really is like the setup part is the hardest part. And it's not hard. I shouldn't say hard. It's not hard. It's tedious. So the setup is tedious, but once that puppy is set up, all you got to do is click, check, boom, run it. And it will put your contract together, and you can even do multiple different contracts for different people. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I highly suggest, just a suggestion, you ain't got to do it, but it makes your life so much easier. So Data Prompter, look it up. It's a third-party Microsoft Word um, application that help you assemble contracts and agreements. Love it. So so back to what I was saying. So these are the things that I put in my contract. You must cancel within 24 hours. If you don't, you kind of forfeit your session. You do not get reimbursed for it. I kind of keep that fund if you don't, contact me. But the beauty about this is that your clients will have a full picture of, okay, these are the consequences. And I'm telling you, by implementing the contract, I have no issues. I really like, oh my gosh, the best thing to have is a contract in place because my clients are fully aware. Okay, so you missed this session. I guess you only have 3 sessions instead of 4, or 5 sessions instead of 6, because you missed the session. If you call in 20 minutes late, well, a session is only 50 minutes. Guess what happens? You only got 30 minutes. That's it. But that's spelled out in the contract. So there are no surprises. There's no questions about fee. Like, you knew what your fee was. If you have an installment plan, you know what that looks like because it's in your contract, which you signed. Okay. So again, these are kind of the things that I put in my contract. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I talk about the opt-in. So if you are, if you send your email, I'm going to add you to my email list. Now, of course, you can opt out at any time, no questions asked. But yeah, if you participate in any service, I will definitely put you in my email list. So that information is in the contract. Um, I also talk about what happens if we break the contract early. I also talk about, um, I have a clause. I have a mental health clause in there in my contract because, as you guys know, if you follow me, I talk about it all the time that, coaching is not therapy. But sometimes you do get a client who needs therapy. They simply need to have counseling and will benefit better from counseling because they have deeper issues that need to be resolved. And so, with that being said, I have my clients sign that they are not under the care of a mental health professional. And if they are, that they they have to, I have another clause, which again is why I love Data Prompter, that I include in the contract that if they are being seen, that one, their therapist has to sign off with them getting external coaching outside of the therapy, and that we are allowed to communicate with each other so that I know how to work with that patient or that client. Patient if they're seeing the mental health professional, client when they're seeing me. I know how to work with them. I know how to navigate it, and then I can share information with their therapist on an as needed to know basis, and the therapist can share with me on an as needed to know basis. So I have a clause about, or if you're seeking medication, I mean, if you are taking medication, if you are being seen by a mental health professional, um, and if your mental health professional is going to sign off on you also having coaching, and to make sure that the coaching is not going to interfere with the mental health services that you are getting. And more or less, it's really about aligning the services and making sure that if I need to share information, one, you're okay with it, and two, that your therapist is aligned with it, because I should be aligned with my client's therapist. And so I have a whole clause on that. And if my client tells me that they are seeing a mental health professional and they are taking medication, yeah, that I need to sign off on that. There's a whole section for that, so I have that in place too. So those are like all of the key um things that I talk about. I also talk about how many sessions the client is going to have, how many check-ins, what times they can call me, what times I'm going to be available, how they can reach me, the fact that they're supposed to call me and what telephone number that they're going to call me on. I talk about the possibility of recording a session, and if they're okay with that, and they can opt out of recording a session at any time. So again, I am very clear with my clients on what they can expect in their engagement with me and through the coaching sessions. And again, you build your agreement based upon what you feel is important for your company and your clients, and really what makes sense for your coaching business. I just wanted to share with you what I put in mind, and I do the same. I say the same thing to not my clients, my students. When they take my coach training program, is like, you don't have to put everything I put in my contract in yours, but you want to have something in place that protects you and protects your client, and that's appropriate for the situation that you're presenting, in your business. But yeah, I talk about a lot of stuff in my contract, and I make sure that my client signs it. But here's the kicker: even though I get a signed contract, in the first session with my client, the first paid session, I mean, I do go over some, rules of engagement with the discovery session too. And I actually have a mini contract for my discovery sessions, which I highly recommend also. So it's an abridged version of the longer contract for long term coaching services. So I do have something really quick for the discovery sessions. But when my client has their first paid session with me, I also take about 5 minutes just to do a summary of the contract agreement. And I even ask them, are there any questions, or is there anything in the contract that you want to go over or that was unclear? And so not only do I go through the contract verbally and then briefly, I don't go through the whole contract because that'll probably take 20, 30 minutes. But like, I give a quick overview, a bird's eye view of it. I pick out key things like privacy, um, trust, um, and expectations. I go through that very quickly. And then I ask, do they have any questions, or is there anything that they want me to clarify? And that has been a saving grace in my coaching sessions with my clients. So I'm telling you guys, it is very important. It is extremely important for you to have something in place with your clients. Um, an email is nice. I mean, you can kind of discuss some of the terms of service in an email, but I think it behooves you to have something that they sign and send back with their signature. and that they have on record and that you have on record. And like I said, you want to have different types of clauses, and you definitely want to take 5 minutes is good, but no more than 10 minutes just to have a summary discussion of the contract and having your clients, you know, get clarification if they have any questions. So I hope that that information was helpful to you guys. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Remember, follow me on social media. I'm going to type that information in the chat box. Uh, if you are not a Read Ready Coach site member, make sure you sign up at readready.com. Um, and yeah, this is just so excited about this information and sharing so much good stuff with you guys because I want you guys to be phenomenal coaches, but not just phenomenal coaches, but phenomenal business owners because I think sometimes we forget that while we might be passionate and we might love to help people and we might be empaths and empathetic and all that good stuff, we have a coaching business. We must understand not just the business of coaching, which is to coach others and help them, meet their full potential, but we have to understand the coaching business. It is a business. And a lot of coaches fail in that area because they forget it's a business. And so I hope that I'm bringing you a lot of good information so that you guys can be great business owners, great entrepreneurs, not just great coaches. So thank you guys again for tuning into the episode. Please make sure you check out my sponsors. I'm really excited for my sponsors. Please check them out. And please look out for my book. I should be publishing in 2 weeks. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So please make sure that you follow me so that you'll know when the launch date is. I'm going to do a virtual party. So I want you guys to make sure that you come to the virtual launch party. And you will know about it if you are signed up for my newsletter. And if you follow me on social media, you will definitely know about it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. I love you guys. Go out there and create awesome sauce for yourself, for others, and just go out there and live your best life and, reach that highest next level because I know you can and I know you will, and I'm excited for you. So thank you guys. Love you. Take care.